Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm meadsyreplays. Welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be looking at the top win rate tank, the highest win rate tanks per tier. And yes, we are doing it per tier. We're going from number 1, tier 1, up all the way up to tier 10. Now, this is going by the data on BlitzStars over the last 90 days. And only according to win rate alone, not about anything else, not about damage or number of times it's been played, etc. With just by win rate. So number 1 in tier 1, 59.52%. It is the Cruiser. Now, I was quite surprised that this was the highest win rate tank in the tier, but considering this game alone has 3 of them on each team, it is quite a popular tank for tier 1. So we move up to tier 2, and it is the light VZ38 at 60.33% win rate. Again, I was really surprised that this Chinese tank was up there at sort of the highest win rate tier 2. I was very, very shocked. I thought there was a few other tier 2s that would definitely be there above this one. Maybe the Cruiser in tier 2, or you have the Mini Mouse, the premium tank. There's maybe even the BT2, like things like that. But I was surprised that this was up there. I mean, having played it, it is a good tank. It's a pretty decent tank. It's solid. It's okay-ish armor. It doesn't bounce too much, but not really any lower tier tank, like sort of tier 1, tier 2, maybe even tier 3. These are not really known for armor, but this tank is a solid tank. Having played it a few battles just to try and get the footage, it is a solid tank. It does its job, and it is the highest win rate tier 2. Leads us up to tier 3, which is the Panda 2G. Now, this tank here at 65.4% win rate is the second highest win rate tank in the entire game. Now, this was actually this is a fantastic tank. It is an auto loader, and it actually has a tier 5 gun. You could do up to 200 damage, maybe even a tiny bit more per magazine. Now, this is a collectible tank, and one that I will probably, I know it's only tier 3, but one that I'll probably be getting back. I'll be restoring it back. I didn't know that this tank was actually really, really good, but having played it, I mean, I only had this battle in it, and I thought it was really, really strong. Armor profile is not really there, but I mean, a tier 5 gun in tier 3, I think that's just insane. You can see we can penetrate the Panda 2J there quite easily. Now, I was kind of guessing it would be the Kennyotsu, but no, that's only around 58-59% win rate. This is 65, which is absolutely crazy. So we're actually having a nice game. It's quite a difficult tank to ace, actually. I thought I would have done just about enough to ace this tank. Maybe an extra kill or something would have got it, but unfortunately we don't get it. So it's just one tank alive now, and that is the BT7, which we're just going to chase and do damage. So the Panda 2G, there's loads of tanks actually in tier 3 that I would put above this, like win rate wise. I thought there would be loads of tier 3. I mean, this tank is a good tank, but I wouldn't have said it was the highest win rate tank in tier 3. Definitely not before the Kennyotsu, also the other Kenny, the collectible Kenny, but it is up there. So brings us on to number 4, tier 4. It is the Panzer B2. Now, this is sitting at 62.79% win rate, and this does not surprise me, to be honest. I kind of expected this to be up there the highest, because it does still have preferential matchmaking, like the elite matchmaking, where you are always top tier, literally always. You will never ever see tier 5 with this tank unless you are in a platoon with someone else in tier 4 that is not in this tank, or the Valentine. Both tanks have preferential matchmaking, and both tanks just are always top tier. So I can see back in the day, a few years ago, people used to just platoon in these, 2 of these, and you were sort of always top tier. And when you are a good player, when you're 2 good players in tier 4, always up against tier 3, then the majority of the games you are going to win. So I was not surprised one bit that this tank was the highest win rate tank in tier 4. Don't forget, this is going by the last 90 days. So overall, like forever, I don't have these stats. No one has these stats. But I should imagine this is up there. All-time highest win rate tank, but it's something Wargaming for some reason won't show us. It's something that they won't give me, but so the only thing we can really go on is over the last 90 days. So that is going to bring us on to tier 5, but before we get there, guys, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. Let's get me to that 60,000 subscriber mark. Also, if you do like my content, why not become a Patreon, where you can stream with me, you can make videos with me, and you just really to support me and the family and my channel. The links are in the description. So tier 5, again, this is something that doesn't surprise me. It is the KV220, and this is sitting at 62.8%. Now, when this tank first was released, it was absolutely insane. Nowadays, it's not so good. I mean, I hardly bounce anything in the tank. When you're in tier 6, I don't bounce anything. When you're against tier 4s, then yes, it is kind of OP and nothing can pen you. For some reason, Wargaming are not selling this in NA, or I'm not sure about Asia. I don't know why. They've never sold it on NA. Whenever it comes for sale, they always sell it on EU, but never NA, which is kind of weird. And I always do ask the question to Wargaming, but they just seem to ignore it. So there's got to be a reason as to why they don't sell it in other servers. But, you know, we're not going to know, and I doubt we'll find out anytime soon. So moving on to tier 6, the highest win rate tank in tier 6 is the Cromwell B, and that's sitting at 59.5%, or 59.05%. This one, again, it's a lovely tank, one of the best tier 6 tanks in the game, without a doubt. It's got the gun depression, 13 or 14 degrees to gun depression. It's got great DPM, great speed, no armor. But I didn't think this would be up there, to be honest. I didn't think this would be the highest win rate. I mean, you have tanks like the VK36 that's kind of OP. You have things like the Battle Pass tanks. In fact, the newer Battle Pass tank excuse me, is higher win rate than this, but I didn't include it because literally it's only owned by a couple of people, and it's in the battle pass at the moment. So so I didn't include that because it's only a few, sort of a week, 2 weeks old. So the Cromwell B, I absolutely love it, and whenever it comes for sale, it always comes for really cheap. You're looking at about £5 for the tank. So great price for a great tank, and I'm glad to see a tank like this that is leading the way in tier 6 according to the win rate, and a good win rate as well. Next up, tier 7. You're not going to be surprised by this. Of course, it is the Annihilator. Now, this tank is sitting at 60.98% win rate over the last 90 days. It was always going to be the Annihilator, either the Annihilator or the Smasher. Of course, they are 2 of the most broken tanks in the game, and I'm not surprised at all to see this leading the way for tier 7. So I thought it'd be actually a bit more than 60.98%. I would have thought at least 65% win rate. But you know what? It is what it is. But it is still leading the tier 7 win rate. Next up, tier 8. Now this is something I did say a while ago with the IS-6 Fearless. Now this is sitting at 71.38% win rate, which is in fact the highest win rate tank in the entire game. Now there's probably a reason for this. The IS-6 Fearless is a very hard tank to get hold of. It used to only be for the real pros, and now Wargaming have got it into ratings, so you have to get so many rating points, etc., to get the tank, and you have to get a lot. So still theoretically, like, the tank is only for the pro people, unless you just spam, unless you're not that good and you spam ratings a hell of a lot, this is mainly owned by really, really good players. So I'm not shocked at all to see the high win rate on it. And I'm definitely not shocked to see it the highest win rate tank in the entire game. So that is tier 8. Let's go on to tier 9. Another shock for me, and that is the AMX first prototype. Now this is sitting at 58.63% win rate. It's a lovely tank. I absolutely adore this tank. Am I surprised that it's the highest win rate tier 9? Of course I am. I didn't think this would be there. I would have thought something like maybe the E75, or maybe the I can't even remember it, maybe the Vickers or something like that, maybe even the K91, which is kind of OP now. But you know what, no, this is it. This is the highest win rate tank in tier 9, and I'm pleased to see that. I'm pleased to see people are doing well in the tank, because it is a nice tank. This used to be one of my favorite premium tanks in the game. I don't play it as much now because I'm just too busy, but it's a lovely tank and it deserves to be up there. Now, of course, top of the tree, top of the list, tier 10. Again, you're not going to really be surprised that it is the T22 at 59.15% win rate. Now, again, I would have maybe thought that there could be a few other tanks that are quite high, especially tanks like the Kranwagen. That's pretty good. The T110 E3, the Vickers. Tanks like that. But you know what, I'm really not surprised that the T22 is up there at number 1, leading the race in tier 10. So are you guys surprised at any of the lists? What would you think, or before I show you, what would you have thought would have been the highest win rate tank in the game, or at least per tier? Let me know in the comments below. And as I've said, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, guys. Hopefully we're going to do a giveaway when we get to 60k subs, and we are going to do a Roblox stream just for the memes with Droodles. So I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. I am meadsy69, and I will catch you all soon. Bye bye. With